Are you gearing up for a procurement manager interview? This video helps in answering most asked questions in procurement manager questions. This is part 2 part 1 link in the description. Let's start. Question 1. How do you perform a cost-benefit analysis when evaluating supplier contracts? A cost-benefit analysis in procurement is a systematic approach to comparing the costs and benefits of different supplier contracts to determine which option offers the best value for the organization. Steps in performing a cost-benefit analysis. 1. Identify costs. Direct costs, these include the price of goods, shipping fees, taxes, and any other expenses directly related to acquiring the goods or services. Indirect costs might include storage fees, handling charges, insurance, and opportunity costs related to holding inventory. Intangible costs, these could involve potential delays, risks of supplier non-performance, or the cost of switching suppliers. 2. Identify benefits. Monetary benefits, cost savings from volume discounts, rebates, or favorable payment terms. For example, a supplier may offer a 2% discount for early payment, which can significantly reduce the total cost. Non-monetary benefits, improvements in product quality, faster delivery times, better customer service, or strategic advantages such as reduced lead times. 3. Quantify costs and benefits. Net present value, NPV. Calculate the NPV of future cash flows associated with each contract option. NPV is a valuable tool as it accounts for the time value of money, providing a present-day value of all costs and benefits. Total cost of ownership, TCO. TCO extends beyond the initial purchase price to include the entire cost of owning the product throughout its lifecycle, including maintenance, operating, and disposal costs. Payback period, this calculates how long it will take for the benefits of the supplier contract to repay the costs incurred. A shorter payback period is often preferred, particularly in uncertain economic environments. 4. Compare and interpret results. After quantifying the costs and benefits, the next step is to compare the total benefits to the total costs. If the benefits outweigh the costs, the contract is considered favorable. So this is how a detailed cost-benefit analysis, the procurement manager can determine which supplier provides the best overall value, ensuring that the selected contract aligns with the company's financial and operational goals. Question 2. Can you explain the concept of spend analysis and how you use it in strategic sourcing? Spend analysis is a critical process in procurement that involves the collection, categorization, and evaluation of expenditure data to understand how much an organization is spending, what it is spending on, and with whom it is spending. This analysis provides insights into spending patterns, identifies opportunities for cost savings, and enhances supplier management. Key components of spend analysis. Data collection. Gather data from various sources, including purchase orders, invoices, and contracts. Data cleansing and standardization. Clean and standardize the data to ensure accuracy and consistency. Categorization. Categorize spending into relevant categories, such as product category, supplier, or department. Analysis. Analyze the data to identify trends, patterns, and anomalies. Reporting. Create reports summarizing the findings and recommendations. Strategic sourcing based on spend analysis. Supplier consolidation. If the analysis reveals a fragmented supplier base with many small transactions spread across multiple suppliers, strategic sourcing can involve consolidating spend with fewer suppliers to negotiate better terms, achieve volume discounts, and reduce administrative costs. Cost reduction. Identifying categories with significant spend but limited strategic importance allows for renegotiating contracts, finding alternative suppliers, or implementing more competitive bidding processes. Risk management. Spend analysis can identify over-reliance on certain suppliers or regions, prompting the diversification of the supplier base to mitigate risks associated with supply disruptions. Sustainability initiatives. Companies might also use spend analysis to track procurement activities related to sustainability, such as identifying the proportion of spend on eco-friendly products or with suppliers who adhere to ethical standards. Question 3. What techniques do you use to forecast procurement demand and how do you integrate these forecasts with supply chain planning? Forecasting procurement demand is the process of predicting future needs for goods and services to ensure that the procurement process aligns with overall supply chain planning. Techniques for forecasting procurement demand. 1. Time series analysis. Moving averages. Exponential smoothing. 2. Causal models. Regression analysis. Econometric models. 3. Qualitative methods. 4. Machine learning algorithms. You can check our detailed videos on this link in the description. Integration with supply chain planning. 1. Inventory management. Demand forecasts are directly integrated into inventory management systems to determine reorder points and safety stock levels. For example, if demand is expected to spike during a particular season, the procurement team can increase orders in advance to avoid shortages. 2. Supplier collaboration. Sharing demand forecasts with key suppliers allows them to align their production schedules with your needs, reducing lead times and ensuring timely deliveries. This approach is particularly beneficial in industries with long lead times or where just-in-time (JIT) delivery is critical. 3. Production planning. Forecasts are integrated with production schedules to ensure that raw materials and components are available when needed. 4. Budgeting and financial planning. Demand forecasts inform the procurement budget, helping to allocate resources efficiently and plan for future expenses. Question 4. How do you calculate and manage inventory turnover ratios to optimize stock levels? The inventory turnover ratio is a key financial metric in procurement and inventory management that measures how often inventory is sold and replaced over a specific period. A high turnover ratio indicates efficient inventory management, while a low ratio may suggest overstocking or sluggish sales. Calculating the inventory turnover ratio. 1. Formula. The inventory turnover ratio is calculated using the formula. Where cost of goods sold, COGS. This is the direct cost attributable to the production of goods sold by a company during a specific period. Average inventory. This is calculated by taking the sum of the beginning and ending inventory for a period and dividing it by 2. 2. Example calculation. Suppose a company has a COGS of $500,000 and an average inventory of $100,000 for the year. The inventory turnover ratio would be 5. This means the company's inventory is sold and replaced 5 times during the year. We have a dedicated video on inventory management. Do check out link in the description. Managing inventory turnover to optimize stock levels. 1. Setting target turnover ratios. Different industries have varying benchmarks for inventory turnover. Procurement managers should set target turnover ratios based on industry standards, business objectives, and product characteristics. 2. Balancing high and low turnover ratios. High turnover. While a high turnover ratio indicates efficient inventory management, excessively high turnover may suggest that inventory levels are too low, risking stockouts and lost sales. Low turnover. A low turnover ratio may indicate overstocking, which can lead to high holding costs, obsolescence, and tied-up capital. In such cases, the procurement team should review demand forecasts, reduce order quantities, and implement markdown strategies to clear excess inventory. 3. Optimizing stock levels. Just-in-time (JIT) inventory. Implementing JIT inventory practices can help maintain high turnover ratios by ordering goods only as they are needed, reducing holding costs, and minimizing waste. 4. Monitoring and continuous improvement. Regularly monitor inventory turnover ratios and compare them against historical data, industry benchmarks, and target goals. Continuous improvement initiatives, such as supplier performance reviews, lead time reduction projects, and demand forecasting accuracy improvements, can help maintain optimal inventory levels. Question 5. How do you assess and mitigate supply chain risks using quantitative models? Supply chain risk assessment involves identifying, analyzing, and mitigating potential risks that could disrupt the flow of goods and services. Quantitative models provide a systematic approach to evaluating these risks, allowing procurement managers to make informed decisions and develop robust mitigation strategies. Assessing supply chain risks using quantitative models. 1. Failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA. FMEA overview. FMEA is a systematic, step-by-step approach for identifying all possible failures in a design, manufacturing process, or supply chain. It involves evaluating the potential failure modes, their causes, and their effects on the overall system. Risk priority number, RPN. Each failure mode is scored based on its severity, occurrence, and detectability. The risk priority number, RPN, is calculated as. The RPN helps prioritize these risks, allowing the procurement team to focus on the most critical ones. 2. Monte Carlo simulations. Monte Carlo overview. Monte Carlo simulations involve using random sampling and statistical modeling to estimate the probability of different outcomes in a process that is subject to uncertainty. 3. Risk matrices. Risk matrix overview. A risk matrix is a visual tool that helps in assessing and prioritizing risks based on their likelihood and impact. Risks are plotted on a matrix with the likelihood on one axis and the impact on the other. Mitigating supply chain risks. 1. Diversification of suppliers. One of the most effective ways to mitigate supply chain risks is by diversifying the supplier base. Relying on a single supplier or region increases vulnerability to disruptions such as political instability, natural disasters, or supplier bankruptcy. 2. Supplier risk assessment and monitoring. Regularly assessing and monitoring supplier performance and financial health is crucial in identifying potential risks early. This can include reviewing financial statements, conducting on-site audits, and using third-party risk assessment tools. 3. Contractual safeguards. Contracts can include specific clauses that mitigate risks, such as force majeure, penalty clauses for late deliveries, and flexible terms for volume adjustments. 4. Inventory buffering and safety stock. Maintaining safety stock or buffer inventory can mitigate the risk of supply chain disruptions due to unforeseen demand spikes, supplier delays, or transportation issues. 5. Risk-sharing agreements. Collaborative risk-sharing agreements with suppliers, such as joint investment in risk mitigation strategies or shared responsibility for inventory management, can reduce the impact of supply chain disruptions. You can watch dedicated risk management video, link in the description. And there you have it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next video.